Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining County Attorney Mike O'Connell, Lieutenant Matt Keller with LMPD Traffic Unit, along with several Metro Council members that are here today, Council President Marcus Winkler, Council members Betsy Rui, Madonna Flood, Anthony Piagentini. Thank you all for being here with us and joining us for this important announcement today. As I say often, our job at Metro government is to do everything we can to make Louisville a safer, stronger, and healthier city. And the most fundamental aspect of that work is preserving public safety. That's something that we're literally working on 24/7 with LMPD and other agencies and community partners throughout the city. And part of that work is identifying patterns in criminal activity, so we can do more than just respond to trouble, but we can understand and take action to prevent certain type of crimes from happening. For example, there's a distinct pattern that we've noticed recently when it comes to automobile thefts. And when we saw that happening, we knew that we had to take action as a city. When it comes to auto thefts, those committing the crime are, of course, in the wrong, and they are responsible for their actions. And they should pay the price for those crimes that those individuals are committing. And as vehicle owners, we all need to do everything we can to keep our vehicles secure and to properly store our valuables. That's on all of us to do. But at the same time, vehicle manufacturers need to do their part to keep their customers and our communities safe. Most automakers do that, but there are two automakers that have been negligent in this area. And the police reports that LMPD keep on stolen vehicle-related thefts make this clear. Because if you look through these reports, over and over again, you see two auto manufacturer names coming up, Hyundai and Kia. Thefts of Hyundai and Kias have skyrocketed in Louisville. These two automakers account for nearly 60% of the vehicles that were stolen in our city this past summer. From January through July of this year, Louisville recorded nearly 900 thefts of Hyundais and more than 1,200 thefts of Kias. Compared to the previous year, that's an increase of Hyundai thefts of over 730%. And for Kias, between the first half of 22 and the first half of 23, that increased nearly 700%. These are alarming figures. And what we've learned is that Hyundai and Kia chose not to equip most of their vehicles with reasonable industry standard anti-theft measures, such as an engine immobilizer, technology that has been around for decades. Instead, they've prioritized cutting costs, and unfortunately, our city is paying the price. The preventable thefts of specific Hyundai and Kia vehicles make it harder for us to provide the safe streets and sidewalks that everyone in our city deserves. And every time that LMPD officers have to respond to one of these vehicle thefts, that means critical law enforcement and emergency resources are being diverted at a time when our resources are already short, at a time when we need our first responders focused on reducing violent crime in our city and preventing crime from happening in the first place. This problem is an example of what happens when an auto manufacturer like Hyundai or Kia chooses to save a few dollars and not care about the safety and security of citizens and cities like Louisville. And it's way more often than just a stolen car, although that in and of itself can be devastating to families who count on their car to get to school, work, medical appointments, and other places. Because car thefts often go hand in hand with reckless driving and other crimes, which in turn result in injuries and too often death. For example, in January of this year, an 18-year-old was killed in a hit-and-run crash involving a stolen white Hyundai. Several months later, a stolen Kia crashed into a daycare in West Louisville. Fortunately, in that case, no one was injured. And let's remember that these security systems are also critical to prevent items in the vehicle from theft. Items such as wallets, purses, jewelries, and other valuables, including guns. One of the ways guns get onto our streets is being stolen from inside of cars. And that's one more reason why it's so important for automakers to install industry norm, adequate security systems into all of their vehicles. Hyundai and Kia declined to do that, although not everywhere, because this security technology in the cars that they sell in Canada and Europe. And that includes the immobilizers I mentioned earlier. But those aren't in their cars here in Louisville. That is unacceptable. And that's why I'm announcing that earlier today, Louisville Metro government, in partnership with Jefferson County Attorney's Office, filed a lawsuit against Hyundai and Kia for creating a public safety nuisance. Louisville is saying through this lawsuit, Hyundai and Kia have made our streets, sidewalks, and neighborhoods less safe. They believe the people of Louisville should bear the cost of that. I disagree. The city disagrees. We believe that Hyundai and Kia should pay to fix the problem they helped create with their negligence and decisions. We are now at a point where auto insurance companies in some cities are refusing to insure certain Kia and Hyundai vehicles. This is unprecedented for the auto insurance industry. And so Louisville is filing suit to force Hyundai and Kia to do what's right, to fix the cars and address the effects of their crimes, the crimes that their failure to install industry standard technology has contributed to. We are seeking both monetary and injunctive relief to stop the nuisance created in our community by the rampant theft of specific Kia and Hyundai vehicles and related crimes using those vehicles. In filing this lawsuit against Hyundai and Kia on behalf of the people of Louisville, we join cities around the country that have taken similar steps. Cities like Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, Cleveland, Seattle, and New York City. For more details on the impact of so many preventable thefts in our city, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Matt Keller from LMPD. Lieutenant Keller?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council people, for being here. Good afternoon. As the mayor said, I'm Lieutenant Matt Keller with Louisville Metro Police's Traffic Unit. LMPD first began seeing a trend in these thefts of Kias and Hyundais towards the end of last year. This is not a division-specific issue. This is happening all over the metro, and the thefts are also a national problem. As some of you are aware, social media videos demonstrating how to steal the cars went viral last year and were popular among teens. Many of these thefts have been committed by teens. Officers have found juveniles as young as 10 and 12 years old stealing the cars due to the poor security features. Since January 1st of this year, 3,000 Kias and Hyundais have been stolen throughout the metro area. We find teens joyriding, dumping the vehicles, or even crashing them. In some cases, they damage other citizens' cars by crashing into them, and these collisions cause officers to have to do additional reports for the collisions, and sometimes these collisions are injuring other people, citizens, and the juveniles themselves. The owners get stuck with the bill, and in some cases, as the mayor said, they have a difficult time with their insurance companies recouping the losses. Not only do these thefts erode the quality of life of the car owners, but they're also a drain on LMPD's manpower. Officers are tied up taking reports. Officers then need to enter the information into the National Crime Information Center, which is known as NCIC. Officers also have to wait on tows when they locate the stolen vehicles or any abandoned vehicles, and currently we have a depleted towing staff. Stolen cars then take up space in the impound lot. Beat officers who could be fighting violent crime are sitting on tows waiting for their wreckers to come on scene. To help car owners, LMPD has purchased anti-theft devices, and we have given them away to the public on numerous occasions. We also organize details and provide directed patrols in areas where we have seen an increase. However, such crimes as these are hard to target because they are occurring almost everywhere and any time throughout the day in our community. Police have been utilizing technology to assist in locating the stolen vehicles. We are urging citizens to always lock your vehicles, no matter what kind of vehicle you drive. Please do not keep valuables, cash, or like the mayor said, firearms in your vehicles while they are left alone. Park in a well-lit area or secure area if you can. You can also purchase anti-theft devices, such as the Club. You can also buy tracking devices. Some car owners have purchased Apple AirTags, and we have been able to locate their stolen vehicles quicker. Lastly, we ask that if you see something, say something. You can always call our anonymous tip line at 502-574-LMPD. Thank you for your time. With that, Jefferson County Attorney Michael Connell.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Greenberg and Lieutenant. Appreciate it very much. As Jefferson County Attorney, one of my responsibilities is to serve as the legal representative for Metro government. That includes advising Mayor Greenberg and his administration on legal steps we should consider that could benefit or better protect our city. The mayor and LMPD laid out the staggering landscape we face in this city as it relates to car thefts. The actions of Hyundai and Kia have created a criminal's playground in the streets of Louisville and other communities across the country. Kia and Hyundai vehicles are outliers in the United States market for their relative limited use of the common anti-theft device called an engine immobilizer. Immobilizer technologies are not new, and as the mayor also stressed, the earliest patent for an immobilizer was more than 100 years ago. And modern immobilizers have been installed by most other car manufacturers since the 1990s. Let me say that again, since the 1990s. In most cars today, the vehicle ignition key that many of us will understand emits a radio signal that when the key is pressed, it prompts a computer disengage an immobilizer device and allows the car to start and move. So it picks up on that and detects it, and that's how it works. Between 2011 and 2022, long after other car makers adopted immobilizer technology that ensured car ignitions could not be started without their keys, Hyundai and Kia intentionally and negligently failed to keep up with the times. Only 26% of 2015 model Hyundai and Kia vehicles in the U.S. had immobilizers, compared to 96% from all other manufacturers. Now think about that for a second. And you heard the mayor say that these companies have had no problem fully using this technology in Canada and Europe. These defendants have installed immobilizers in 100% of their models for sale in the European and Canadian market for years. For years they've done that. And so today we have filed a complaint. Louisville Metro government has filed a complaint. We have filed it in behalf of Metro in the United States District Court in the Central District of California to hold these companies accountable. We've worked in recent months to pull together the needed data to demonstrate our claims. Today's action is Louisville Metro's latest filing to hold accountable large corporations whose actions have harmed public health and safety in this community and have caused the city to expend significant additional resources to address and abate these harms. These include lawsuits, as many of you know, against opioid distributors, manufacturers, which have resulted in more than $57 million to date in settlement dollars directly to Louisville. And Louisville Metro we advised them and asked them and recommended they file claims against Juul and Altria for their roles in the significant increase of nicotine use and addiction by marketing and selling vape products as a safe alternative to cigarette smoking. And part of that has been settled too, and there'll be funds coming into Louisville Metro government. We filed today's action in the Central District of California because claims against Hyundai and Kia for those vehicle thefts have been centralized there into what is called a multi-district litigation, or an MDL. This same thing happened in our cases against opioid and nicotine manufacturers and distributors when the cases were ultimately consolidated into other federal courts. The city has hired, at our recommendation, two law firms to assist in this: the Seattle-based firm of Keller Rohrbach and the Louisville-based firm of Poppy, the Poppy Law Firm, and Hans Poppy is sitting here with us today to assist the Jefferson County Attorney's Office as outside counsel. The law firms take the case at no initial cost to taxpayers and would only receive payment if funds are recovered. Louisville takes this action today to force Hyundai and Kia to do what is right: fix the cars, address the effects of the crime wave. These companies' failure to install standard anti-theft technology in the first place has caused these harms. And as the officers and other people in this room know, this is all over social media. It's all over YouTube. It's all over if you Google anything, it's going to give you more than you could read in a couple of years. They even have a video that I watched yesterday, because I didn't understand exactly how this worked for a while. But I found one where it's a YouTube video, and this guy's explaining step by step exactly what to do to steal these cars. And the interesting thing is, they end up, they break open the steering column and they tear back part of what's in there, but then they even tear part of the ignition device out of that thing, and they take the work end of a USB cord that you can get at the drugstore, and they put it in this slot, and it fits perfectly, and then you turn it and the car starts. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. So this is a scourge that, as the mayor said, a lot of cities are going through. I think just Chicago or something, I read yesterday, I mean, they've had went from 800 cars being stolen over a period of time to 8,000 of these vehicles being stolen. So, there's a lot of work ahead, and a lot of things are going to go on, and these MDL cases, they don't resolve themselves in 30 to 60 days, so it's going to be a while. So thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Keller. Thank you very much, County Attorney Mike O'Connell. That is the information that we have to provide today based on the filing of this new lawsuit. And if there are questions from the media, we're happy to take a few questions at this time. Stefan.
Heard from any of the victims of the thefts of Kia or Hyundai owners?
I mean, we are aware of, we have talked to them in the nature of sort of the crime, the response that LMPD has made to the different crimes that we were talking about, either the thefts themselves, which, as I mentioned, are, it is a giant impediment to a family. If your car is stolen, that really impacts your life negatively. But then also these stolen cars lead to other crimes, in some cases death, in other cases, as we mentioned, the one case of running into a child care center in West Louisville. So we have spoken to them in the ordinary course of the investigation. When we put all that data together and analyzed the data and started thinking about and realizing what the impact of these crimes had on our city, we decided to take action. Nope. Anyone else from the media? Oh, you? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't see with the glare. I'm sorry.
You mentioned that the city is seeking monetary and injunctive relief. How much is the city seeking, and how would those funds,
You can answer that.
Well, like most litigation, you don't put an amount certain in what you're asking for until you do discovery and all the things that go into that. So it would be way premature to estimate that. Injunctive relief, of course, can be just direct orders to do or not do something, and those may come quicker than maybe the monetary side of it is determined. But This is not, doesn't take a genius to determine how much this has impacted the city, as the mayor said and the officer said, in terms of all the various agencies and the people are involved and the time it's away from their regular duties. And then the public safety part of this. And I mean, it's unbelievable. But to your question about whether Stefan, whether we've talked to any individuals, there is a separate consumer track in these cases out in California and other things which are getting filed, where an individual consumer, after they consult with their counsel or however they want to do that, they can do this individually. This is being filed on behalf of Louisville Metro government for obviously all the things we've already talked about.
What advice would you give to the victims, the people who had their cars stolen, and some of them like had liability insurance, so they're just out of the money because the cars were totaled?
I'd tell them to counsel with a very reliable and recommended attorney for next steps on what to do, because it's a kind of a minefield of things on how best to do it. I mean, they're getting hit from all sides. Their car's gone, their car's wrecked. They got to deal with claims adjusters. They got to deal with this and that, and it's awful.
Have the local dealers said anything?
Say again. It can be any of those things. It can be recalls, and it can be orders to immediately install in every car that comes off the line this immobilizer or safe technology, plus other things, okay? Those would be the two primary things, I think, Hans, wouldn't they? They pretty much. So I think that's what the purpose is. That's what people try to do. But determining, when you do this, in the opioid case, when we filed on behalf of Metro, there was some data that the Food and Drug Administration kept that we had to, with help of our counsel, had to get to and examine, and they give exact numbers of how many opioids went into each community around the country. This is different. This is going to take, there's going to be information that's gathered by people that we haven't seen yet, but we'll get it, and our lawyers will get it, and then we'll figure out how that measures damages or helps measure damages.
What about the dealers here? Have you heard from them? Have they talked to you? Did you tell them that this is coming?
No, I didn't tell anybody it's coming. Dealers aren't my clients. This man is, and you all are. No, I didn't talk to any dealers, Stefan. I bet they know about it, though. Oh, they know about it. They know it's coming.
Yes, sir.
You had mentioned that LMPD was providing some anti-theft type devices to the public. Can you expand upon that?
So we use some technology out there that helps us track down vehicles. I can't get too much into it, but it's more real-time information, so we can hopefully get these vehicles back to the victims quicker.
So you're offering that to people?
No, it's something that we have on the department.
Okay. Because you had mentioned anti-theft devices being made available to the public. Did I hear you wrong?
I don't think I said. Oh, we're talking about like the club. Yeah, that's, okay, I got you. So we purchased some of those and we gave them out at some community events. So, people that own these vehicles can go out on their own and purchase, the club or some of these, air tags to put in vehicles so we can track their vehicles down quicker. And maybe, we can track them down when they're parked somewhere so we can recover them so we're not, having to maybe try to make a traffic stop on the vehicle, which would turn into a pursuit that we, don't do. So if we can find a way of tracking the vehicle down where it's parked, we can get it and recover it safely so it's not damaged and get it back to the victim quicker. I got you now, thanks.
Yeah, last question.
Frank Anderson, Boss Local Bishop Pate, Tennessee Land, Tennessee Land. My question is two-part. Here's a homicide. I know there's Hyundai and Kia that you're specifically talking about now, but our vehicle homicide here in the city of Louisville have gone up tremendously within the past year or so. And I was just wondering, I can pull up the website from Louisville Metro Police Department, and I can find out the stats on gun violence and any other type of violence. How can I find out the stats on how many vehicular homicides there is? To me, a homicide is a homicide. But when people take and introduce another weapon of choice, which is vehicular homicide, motorcycle, and now on a bicycle, and now he is in the hospital fighting for his life. And I was wondering about those things.
Yeah.
And the other thing, can you, will you be looking at possibly, trying to find out a spearhead, maybe bringing a lawsuit against, TikTok and, YouTube to maybe censor that and maybe get these videos taken off like they do on other websites around?
So I can answer, in response to the first part, the second part, we're considering all options right now. We have not chosen to do that at this point. But in response to your first part, deaths resulting from automobile accidents is a very significant problem, deaths and injuries. If you look nationwide, the amount of individuals who are dying as a result of vehicular accidents is very similar to those who are being killed by gun violence. This is a very serious issue. And so this is one of the reasons why our administration, with the support of Metro Council in the last budget, is creating a new Department of Transportation, because we are very focused on automotive and pedestrian and bicycle safety, just as we are on reducing the amount of gun violence in our city. And so right now, Public Works, they do have a dashboard that provides information. The state actually rates roadways and intersections on how dangerous they are. All of that is publicly available on either the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet or the city's various websites. But working in partnership with the Metro Council, we are very focused on this issue, one, by creating the Department of Transportation, and also as we look to new infrastructure spending all across our entire city. We are very focused on safety for drivers, safety for pedestrians, and safety for cyclists. Thank you all very much for coming. We'll continue to keep you updated as this litigation proceeds.